We'll get started here in 1 minute. Okay. I'd like to call to order the regular council meeting of September 9th, 2025. Our invocation this evening will be by Pastor Delmer Giese of Life Community Church. Pastor.
Heavenly Father, thank you for this wonderful town that we live in. Thank you for these wonderful leaders that we have that take care of us. Lord, we pray for wisdom. We pray for guidance from above. And Lord, for those of us that are residents here, Lord, let us do our part as good citizens, as good residents, to be good neighbors, to be gracious, to be kind, to be loving, to be quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to get angry. So Lord, bless this evening and all that gets done. I pray that in your name, amen.
Our pledge will be led by Councilmember Lyons tonight. Please rise.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. A roll call.
Mayor Scott Anderson.
Here.
Vice Mayor Bobby Buckley.
Here.
Councilmember Chuck Bongiovanni.
Here.
Councilmember Jan Kaprowski.
Here.
Councilmember Monty Lyons.
Here.
And Councilmember Jim Torgerson. Here. A quorum is present.
Thank you. We have one proclamation tonight declaring September 2025 as National Suicide Prevention Month. Councilmember Torgerson.
Well, this isn't time for me to talk about myself. I actually want you guys to introduce yourselves and tell you a little bit about why you're involved.
My name is Jessica Nicely. I'm the CEO and founder of Winged Hope Family Advocacy Foundation. To my right, starting with the white sweater and all the way down, are board members, and on the very end is my son, Spencer. This matters to me because 27 years ago, my daddy died by suicide, and he was also my abuser. And so I spoke loudly about that for the past 29 years, and as a result, his family had a lot of anger about it. And I think that's something that people don't talk about a lot, but with suicide, it's such a difficult and extensive loss that people need someone to blame. And unfortunately, I was that person, so I still don't speak to many of my family members because they still blame me for his death. And so I'm here because after starting Winged Hope, we've jumped in and helped so many families and walked with them through either attempted suicides or completed suicides. And it's just such a gift and honor for me to be here. It's very personal for me to be able to stand up here, to have my baby with me, to have my dear friends with me, and to be able to be a voice for those struggling. And I just want to say what we've always said to our babies too: everything is overcomable, everything except suicide. If there's something that you're thinking of or struggling with, it can be overcome. But once you make that decision, we can't turn back. So I just ask you, if you are in crisis or you need help or you love someone who does, reach out to us and we'd like to be there for you. Thank you.
My name is Caitlin Kirkham. I'm the clinical director and clinician over at the Hope Institute of CUSD. We're an outpatient mental health treatment center that solely treats folks who are having thoughts of suicide ages 5 and up. So this is very important to me because of the work that I do day in, day out, working, sitting with folks in their darkest moments who are struggling with the decision to live and sometimes actively experiencing suicidal thoughts or suicide behaviors when they leave us. I myself, when I was in high school, struggled and didn't have access to these resources, and it wasn't a conversation that was had. So I appreciate these proclamations being invited here because suicide, it's not just a statistic. It's affecting our family, our friends, our coworkers, our whole community. And the more we can have these conversations and have these moments where we're all coming together to talk about it, the more hope and healing that we can bring to our communities. So thank you.
My team would like me to speak on their behalf.
From the Office of the Mayor for the Town of Gilbert, this proclamation, Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. Whereas suicide is the leading cause of death in the United States, claiming the lives of over 48,000 Americans each year, and is a deeply personal tragedy that affects friends, families, and entire communities. And whereas in Arizona, the suicide rate has reached approximately 18 per 100,000 people, which is higher than the national average. With Maricopa County, home to the Town of Gilbert, reporting a rate of 20.1 per 100,000 in 2023. And whereas suicide is the 8th leading cause of death for males and the 11th for females in Arizona, with firearms involved in 60% of completed suicides, highlighting the urgent need for prevention and safe storage education. And whereas youth in Arizona are particularly vulnerable, with 17.3% of surveyed youth reporting they seriously considered suicide and 8.6% having attempted it, often influenced by bullying, substance abuse, and mental health challenges. And whereas suicide is preventable, and through increased awareness, education, and access to mental health resources, we can reduce stigma, support those in crisis, and save lives. And whereas the Town of Gilbert is committed to fostering a compassionate, informed, and resilient community where every individual feels seen, supported, and valued. Now, therefore, I, Jim Torgerson, on behalf of Scott Anderson, the mayor of Gilbert, do hereby proclaim September 2025 as Suicide Prevention Awareness Month in Gilbert, Arizona, and encourage all residents to learn the warning signs of suicide and how to respond, support local mental health initiatives and organizations, promote open conversations about mental health and well-being, and reach out to those who may be struggling and offer hope and connection. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have a special recognition of service and leadership for United States Air Force Major General, I believe retired now, is that correct? Major General Carrie L. Muhlenbeck, and Councilmember Lyons will be doing this.
Well, we want to thank you with this certificate of appreciation for the service that you've given to this country, to the state of Arizona, and we're proud that you're a resident of the town of Gilbert. And in recognition of that, we'd like to recognize you with our sincere appreciation for your outstanding service and leadership dedicated to the Adjutant General of Arizona and safeguarding our state through emergency response and military readiness and public safety. And like I said, it is an honor that you are among our citizens, and thank you so much. And we'd like to present you with this as a token of our appreciation. Thank you. Charles, would you like to say anything?
Yeah, I just have a few.
Okay.
On a moment as special as this, I have just a few words, if you'll bear with me. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, council members, and fellow Gilbert residents. Thank you for honoring this great Gilbert resident. On behalf of the Veterans Advisory Board, it is my privilege to help recognize Major General Carrie Muhlenbeck for her extraordinary service to our state and nation. Her military career began in 1992, and for more than 3 decades, she has more than 3 decades of combined service in uniform with an accomplished civilian career as an attorney and educator. General Muhlenbeck recently concluded her tenure as Adjutant General of Arizona, where she led the Arizona Army and Air National Guard, Joint Task Force, and Emergency Management. Under her leadership, our Guardsmen responded with excellence and challenges ranging from pandemic response to border security to wildfire suppression. She welcomed new and strengthened state partnerships across the globe. We are deeply proud that one of Gilbert's own has had such a profound impact on Arizona and the nation. General Muhlenbeck, on behalf of the Veterans Advisory Board and our community, we are thankful for your service and your leadership.
Thank you. Thank you, General. Next up, we have a little bit of change to the order in our agenda, something we're starting this week, which will carry through in upcoming weeks, which affects our communications from citizens. You can see that we have this listed before the consent calendar and public hearings. We will have a 30-minute period. Effective today, council meetings will follow the following procedures on citizen communications. They now occur before the consent agenda and in public hearings. A 30-minute time limit applies to this segment. Overflow speakers will be heard after the public hearing, which you'll notice is later in the agenda. That's only if we are going to exceed the 30-minute limit. Speaking priority goes to Gilbert residents, business owners, and property owners. Donating time is no longer something that's available. Each speaker has 3 minutes. So I'll turn the time over to the Vice Mayor to go through communications for citizens.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I am, for one, and I'm sure I speak for all the council members, I am really pleased and excited that we're going to be opening with communications from citizens. And with that, I am going to read the rules of decorum. So we value the participation of our community members and robust exchange of ideas. However, it is essential that this discourse remains respectful and constructive, reflecting the professionalism expected in such forums. Misinformation and personal attacks undermine our collective efforts and do not contribute to the productive dialogue necessary for our town's progress. This is an opportunity for the public to address the town council directly about issues impacting the town. Accordingly, the town council will not allow for moments of silence or the playing of music or other recorded materials which could distract from meeting decorum or violate copyrights. While we understand and appreciate the passion our community members bring to this session, we remind everyone that clapping during the meeting is not acceptable. This practice can disrupt the flow of discussion, potentially intimidate others, and detract from the respectful atmosphere we strive to maintain. Tonight, we'll invite you up to the podium. When you come up to the podium, please state your name and your city of residence. And the city of your residence and your name are important so that the town clerk can have that for the record. You will have 3 minutes to directly address the town council. In accordance with state law, we, as the council and the mayor, are unable to provide responses to public comments during this meeting. Please be assured that your concerns and your input are heard and valued. So with that, we have actually one speaker today, and that would be Noah James Markham. And you will have, if you'll state your name and the city you live in, and you'll have 3 minutes to speak.
Aloha, Mayor, and the rest of the City Council. My name is Noah James Markham, and I live in Tempe. I would like to talk about the law enforcement here in Gilbert. As having a disability my whole life and being fearful of cops in Gilbert, but really I should be able to know that they're there to protect me. But I've, in a few instances with Gilbert Police, that I felt unsafe being around them. And I thank you, Gilbert Police and Fire Department and paramedics, for spreading disabilities on your cars. It's beautiful, and I love it. I hope that we get more education for police officers on disabilities. And I hope no one that has a disability has to be feared for their life around a police officer again. Another thing, too, if you guys didn't know, that not everyone has a disability, and they will lie. And no, one more comment, that not every parent that has a disabled child will understand what they are going through sometimes. So I ask kindly that we keep on doing this in Gilbert. And one more thing, I kindly please ask that you clean your sewer systems here because they smell really bad. And I would feel bad if the cops had to pull someone over and had to smell the sewers around Gilbert. Mahalo, and I thank you very much for listening to me today.
Oops, thank you. Okay, I am going to move along to the consent calendar. And I believe what we'll do, we're going to begin the consent calendar with a portion of the meeting. And I'll pass the current time over to our town manager, Patrick Banger, to provide an overview of items 5, 11, 12, 13, and 14 on the consent calendar. Patrick?
Thank you, Mayor, Vice Mayor. Yeah, I will go ahead and run through the slides that I have prepared for all of the consent items, and then I will stop at those slides to answer any additional questions that there may be on those items, if that's acceptable to everybody. Okay. Again, we categorize things to our 3 focus areas of strong economy, prosperous community, and exceptional built environment. And we'll follow these in chronological order. First up, agenda items 1 and 2 under exceptional built environment. These are annexations of right-of-way. And essentially what this will do is the Maricopa County will de-annex portions of these roads, and then it'll bring all of the right-of-way into the town of Gilbert's portfolio, so any necessary road improvements, the operation, maintenance, or permitting of those would be done by one agency only, the town of Gilbert. Items 3 and 4 have to do with the opioid settlement agreements, and the settlement funds the town will ultimately receive under the agreement will depend upon the number of states, counties, cities, and towns that ultimately elect to participate. Once we receive those funds, we will handle those with your consent and authority on how we'd like to expend those dollars to the benefit of our community. Agenda item number 5, it's for the purchase of police radar equipment. It's funded from the general fund, and it is included in the approved fiscal 26 police operating budget, and it's a contract not to exceed over $125,000 over 2 fiscal years. Happy to answer any questions there may be on that.
Okay, does anyone have any questions? Councilmember Torgerson?
Can you tell me a little bit about the equipment and how it is being deployed?
Yeah. Chief?
Mayor and Councilmember Torgerson, these are for 4 trailers. 2 are smaller, and they just display the speed as you're approaching it. The other 2, actually, we can put messages on it, buckle up, slow down, pay attention. They collect data, but they do not record license plates, photos. So when we talk traffic counts, that is a way we can collect information. If we get complaints about speeders or other violations, we will put these, the smaller ones usually around school zones, the bigger ones on the larger thoroughfares, and they just are educational. There's no enforcement whatsoever with either of the 4 radar trailers. And it's educational, and we deploy them based on where we get those needs. We get a lot of complaints, both online and on the phone, of everything from major thoroughfares to neighborhoods. And so based on where those requests are and the data that we're seeing, we will then deploy them, usually from a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, depends on the location.
We were hearing complaints about speed on rigs near 156. Something could be down there. It's not necessarily going to ticket, it's not going to record them, but it's going to record the speeds.
Right.
So that
Yep.
we can have an accurate view of what's happening in a situation like that.
Yeah, different than traffic's process of putting usually the little bumper cord across the street. I don't know if that's a technical term, but that's how they do their counts, but we can get counts off of our reads, and that's where we'll base the average speed based on the counts that we pick up off these trailers. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Chief.
One more.
Councilmember
Oh.
Bon Giovanni?
Thank you, Vice Mayor. So my assumption is that the data comes back that there's a lot of speeders on a certain road. You guys would follow up with that with officers after that?
Yeah, depending on that data. And that's not our only data that we rely on. Obviously, we have traffic as well. And we talked earlier about accidents, and we use that as our deployment methods and just what we know and what we see.
Great, thanks.
Okay, thank you, Chief. Moving on to the next item, number 6. It's a purchase contract for silica quartz sand. It's a material utilized in our water treatment at the town water treatment facilities to maintain water quality. Contract is not to exceed $60,000 annually for a term of 5 years, and its rate supported through the water fund. Agenda item number 7, pre-construction services contract with Hunter Contracting for a CIP streets project occurring along Somerton Boulevard between Williamsfield Road and Rucker Road. And this is funded with the voter-approved 2022 general obligation bonds. Agenda item number 8, it's a series of contracts for the CIP Aquifer Storage and Recovery Wells Project, part of our Integrated Water Resources Master Plan update with Wilson Engineers, Stanley Consultants, and Felix Construction Company, and the amounts listed. Funding for these items is supported via the Greenfield Wastewater System Development Fee. Agenda item number 9 is a task order for asphalt projects and services with Sunderland Asphalt and Construction, an amount not to exceed $3.1 million in fiscal 2026. And this is our annual contract for miscellaneous overlay, milling, traffic control, utility adjustment projects throughout the community. It's supported via the vehicle license tax revenue in the roadway and maintenance budget. Agenda item number 10, it's a task order for miscellaneous concrete and asphalt repairs of sidewalks, handicap ramps, and asphalt services with Talus Construction, an amount not to exceed just a little over $1 million for the fiscal year. The item supported via HERF revenue in the streets concrete repair budget. Agenda item number 11, a task order for street light rehabilitation services with CS Construction, Inc., an amount not to exceed just over $2.6 million. Fiscal year 26 supports our long-range infrastructure plan by replacing over 390 aged-out direct buried poles and fixtures in various locations within residential and collector streets. It's also funded via HERF revenue in the streets operating budget. Happy to pull a member of the CIP team up, but in essence, Through the years, we have seen a lot of failures from lights that were direct buried in the ground from the contact with the moisture on the poles, degrading the metal, and it reached a point where they've become dangerous and collapsed in many situations. So we were going through and replacing these methodically and putting them up on concrete bases to get the new poles away from the moisture. They should have never been installed in that fashion, but they were. We've got quite a few around town that we continue to monitor their condition and replace as necessary and appropriate.
Okay.
Okay. Moving on to item number 12, it's a contract with Stacy and Whitbeck for construction services in an amount not to exceed just under $2.3 million, and with TriStar Engineering for PMCM services, roughly $330,000 for a project that will eliminate 4 auto flushers from the potable water system within town infrastructure, supporting water conservation efforts. This is partially rate supported from the Water Fund and partially supported from a grant awarded to the town from the Water Infrastructure Finance Authority. And I will ask either Ryan Blair or Jessica Marlowe to come up if you'd like additional information, but we have portions of our town where we've got pipes that are kind of at the end of a distribution line, and the water can grow stale in those pipes. So we have auto flushers that basically pull the waters out of those pipes, but we end up wasting some of that water or losing some of that water as a result. So we've been doing a lot of projects to create additional loops and interconnects throughout our system so that we'll create greater resiliency when we do have breaks and not have to shut off as many homes to repair that break, but also for situations like this where we've got to get that aged out water out of the system. It'll keep it circulating throughout the system more efficiently. Okay. Moving on to item number 13, it's a change order with HDR Engineering in an amount just a little over $27,000 to enable the town to address scope changes in 2 stormwater pump station rehab projects that include additional sidewalk perimeter security, turf removal, and additional construction support services. It is rate supported out of the Environmental Compliance Replacement Fund. Happy to have someone come up and talk more to that. I don't know much more than what is provided in that description.
I was just happy to hear where the funds came from.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to item number 14, it's a motion to approve pre-construction services for 7 wells that are part of the Wells Development Program with Kiewit Infrastructure West in an amount just a little over $38,000, and it's rate supported from the Water Fund and a grant from the Water Infrastructure Finance Authority. And this is some of our wells we're under construction as part of our drought preparations.
That's exactly what I wanted here. Thank you.
Okay. Moving item, oh, my screen went blank. It's back. Moving on to agenda item 15. Approve contingency funding in the amount of $275,000 from the town's fiscal 26 property and casualty insurance. The contingency is requested as the original budget allocation of $4.45 million is insufficient to cover the cost of the policies. The item is funded in varying amounts from the general fund, ambulance, transportation fund, solid waste residential, solid waste commercial, environmental compliance, fleet, tourism, and CIP. This is our annual casualty insurance premium. Agenda item number 16, a motion to approve the ratified bylaws of the Veterans Advisory Board to reinstate a treasurer role to the board. And that concludes the consent agenda for tonight's meeting. Thank you, Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Patrick. We appreciate that and your expertise. We've added item number 24 to the consent calendar, and we'll have Council Member Monty Lyons read off the Planning Commission.
We have 2 reserve positions open on the Planning Commission. These are, if somebody is absent, these folks fill in on that. We interviewed the folks this past week and had decided to choose Jenna Lyon and Raymond Wong for terms beginning September 30th of 25 and ending in September of 2028. And I recommend that we proceed with appointing them to those positions.
I believe that's
Okay,
2026.
Oops, I'm sorry. Do you want to? Do you have a question?
Just-
In the packet, it says 2026, a one-year appointment.
All right, I'll have to correct it because it says 28 on here, so, okay. So it'll be from 2025 to 2026.
Okay, Chevelle, can you correct that? Or address it?
Yes, for alternate positions, it is for a one-year term, so 2026 would be accurate.
All right. Make the motion that we approve these two
Okay.
folks.
I'm going to call for the motion with
Okay.
all of them, yeah. First, I'm going to ask if anyone has any more questions. Mayor Anderson?
No.
Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay. Well, with that, if there's no more questions, then I will move to approve the consent agenda, items 1 through 17, plus item number 24. Do you have a second?
Second that.
Okay, seconded by Councilmember Bongiovanni. And please vote. Okay, the motion carried 6-6, and with Councilmember Buckland not here. All right, I think that concludes the consent agenda, and we'll move on. Mayor?
Thank you, Vice Mayor. We'll move on to public hearings, items 18 through 23. Are there any of these items anybody would like to pull off and discuss separately? Okay, we'll pull off 21 for a separate answer. I'll entertain a motion for items 18. I'll open the public hearing and close the public hearing on items 18, 19, 20, 22, and 23. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve items 18, 19, 20, and 22, and 23, correct?
Yes. Been moved by the Vice Mayor, seconded by
I'll second that.
Councilmember Bongiovanni. Please vote. Motion carries 6-0 with Councilmember Buckland absent. Item 21, I think we just have one question from Councilmember Torgerson. I don't know that we need a full presentation on this.
We don't need a full presentation. I'd just like to know the funds, where it's eventually being reimbursed from and to, and what's eventually covering that cost.
Mayor, Councilmember Torgerson, yes, thank you. So this action is very similar to the action taken on item 20 for the funds we'll expend now, the ability to reimburse ourselves when we issue bonds to pay for the project itself, to reimburse the funds the towns have spent on the project up to this point.
Right, and those for the cash bond mix that was approved a couple of years ago?
So for this specific project, maybe here she is, Kelly, on her way up, and she can answer very specific questions for you.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. This is a reimbursement resolution. As Patrick said, so we would be able to reimburse. It is anticipating WRMPC bonds, the water resources, which would be a combination of water funds, water replacement funds, and then also wastewater projects as well could be combined in with this. So wastewater funds that are rate supported, wastewater SDF funds, because there's a portion of the Greenfield expansion plant that we would look to need to bond for in the future as well. Yep.
Thank you, Kelly. I'll open the public hearing on item 21, close the public hearing, and entertain a motion.
Move to approve item number 21.
Been moved by Councilmember Kaprowski, seconded by the Vice Mayor. Please vote. Motion carries 6-0. That concludes the regular agenda. We have some future meeting items. If you'll take note of those, we'll go to communications. Report from the town manager.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. Okay, to start with department and division highlights, we'll begin with September is Emergency Preparedness Month, and so we're going to highlight our Emergency Management Division. It's a picture of the team right there. And the primary areas of responsibility they handle are emergency preparedness and response coordination, community safety and resiliency initiatives, and then strategic partnerships and resource development. And we've got information listed down there why it's important, high level, what it is they do and why it's important to this community. And this will be available online if anybody would like to go see it. It's also National IT Professionals Day, September 16th. So we're going to highlight our great information technology team. And they continue to grow as our dependence on our software and technology to deliver our systems effectively and efficiently continues to grow. We have a wonderful team of people that do great work for us. Some of the primary areas of responsibility for that crew, and this is greatly simplified, they do a myriad of duties on a regular basis, but device and infrastructure support, data management, and customer experience, and again, some brief descriptions of what that is and why it matters to this community. And then to highlight some of the numbers and the stats. In their tech hub, they resolve just under 12,000 tickets. Anytime there's an issue with software, with hardware, you fill out a ticket, and then that's so they can track that and ensure timely closeout of that work. Under infrastructure, we've got over 130 different switches and routers, over 30,000 ports, 51,000 lines of configuration, over 200 servers supporting over 200 applications, and over 300 public safety devices. The AV team has modernized over 80 spaces in the last 4 years and had just under 7,500 scheduled meetings in MS Teams rooms just in the last 6 months. Our GIS system, which continues to grow in its importance to us and our service lines in this community. Mapped features, 2.1 million in land development, 345,000 in the water system, 142,000 with street right-of-way, 58,000 in sewer system, and 41,000 in stormwater. And I know every time I look at these kind of statistics, it reminds me that what a large, complex community we have that we serve, and large geographic as well, and the tens of thousands of different pieces of information that we need to understand, we need to stay on top of, we need to track to make sure that we keep this community's quality as high as we can. They're also a key player with the creation of our public-facing dashboards that we continue to roll out. And then when it comes to information security, unfortunately, this continues to grow in severity and frequency. You'll see those monitored events in particular, 41.3 billion. I asked for clarification what that time frame was. I didn't know if it was 5 years, 3 years, 1 year. That was the number of events from June to August of this year, 43.1 billion events. And what they mean by events, those are different attempts to infiltrate our systems and our software systems and our hardware. A lot of that is automated and kind of low level, but more and more we're seeing very sophisticated attacks that are directed specifically at your systems and at your agency. So they do a great job for us, and that's an area of just incredible importance because of the danger to our systems should things go down. And then they have been involved in just a staggering number of upgrades from a technology and software standpoint in the police and fire department with device upgrades, major application migrations to the cloud, and part of that is for greater functionality as well as greater security, on-base, Teams Voice, Adobe, and more. Partnerships with emerging technology, Office for Proof of Concept, that we're doing a tremendous amount of stuff in that space right now, particularly with a lot of the AI systems that are being developed and piloted, and then modernization of collaboration spaces, such as our council chambers, EOC, and dispatch. Our information technology team does a tremendous job for us. With that, I have one last announcement, I believe. We have one more slide, Chiavelli, we're going to bring up. Suspense, we're building it up. Drum roll. We have our management analyst, Kirsten Begay. I think she's known to all of you, is engaged and will be getting married in, I believe, October 4th of this year. So very grateful for Kirsten, all the great things that she does for us, and look forward to her upcoming nuptials. Congratulations, Kirsten and Sean. And that's all I have for tonight, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, congratulations. Any reports from the council? Councilmember Bongiovanni.
Thank you, Mayor. We're going to talk about our dementia-friendly caregiver support group coming up. We warmly invite you to join our dementia-friendly and caregiver support group on Tuesday, September 16th from 1 to 2:15 p.m. at the Gilbert Community Center. Connect with others who are navigating similar experiences and gain valuable support, advice, and understanding. Our group is led by a trained facilitator and a community member, ensuring a welcoming and information environment for all. While caregivers are attending the support group, your loved one with memory loss will take part in an engaging experience provided by our staff. Activities will include art, music, and movement, stories, reading, and mindful movement. Come be a part of our supportive community. Also, we need to talk about our Gilbert Family Triathlon. Unleash your inner athlete at our 3rd annual Gilbert Family Triathlon on Saturday, September 27th from 7 to 10 a.m. at Perry High School. This family-friendly event will include a 100-yard swim in the pool, a 2-mile bike across campus, and a 1-mile run on the track. All participants can return to the pool after the race for open family swim. So please attend those 2 events.
Councilmember Lyons.
On Tuesday, November the 11th, we'll be celebrating Veterans Day, and I would encourage everybody to come down to the Water Tower Plaza. We'll have a car show from 3 to 5, and then a ceremony from 5 to 6. When we celebrate the service that our veterans have given this country, so thank you.
Thank you. Vice Mayor.
Well, you can let Kropaski go if you want. First, do you want to do that?
Councilmember Kaprowski.
Yeah.
The Gilbert Symphony Orchestra season is back. The first season opener will be Sunday, October 12th at 2 p.m. at the Higley Center for the Performing Arts. It is still free to the public and part of our dementia-friendly initiative. We hope to see you there. The theme will be an Americana evening. Again, that's Sunday, October 12th, 2 p.m.
Vice Mayor.
Okay. I have some tourism items to go over. Harvest in the Heritage District. If you guys have not been there, it's really fun. So downtown Gilbert's Fall Celebration will kick off on Friday, September 26th through November the 2nd. The activation features fall-inspired decorations, artistically comical pumpkin displays, and an origami exhibit showcasing fall cultural events. Events happening over the activation include viral downtown concerts, markets, and an origami folding workshop, a live pumpkin carving by Ray Villafame, and more. You can also join the Great Gilbert Gourd Hunt to learn about Gilbert's heritage and win fun prizes and stop by downtown businesses for fall flavors, events, and offers. See you all at the Harvest in the Heritage District. Also, here's a few sound bites for music and food festivals. Soundbites Music and Food Festival is back for its 2nd year on Saturday, October 11th at Gilbert Regional Park. Presented by Earnhardt Hyundai Santan and Hunter Contracting Company, and featuring headliner Roger Klein and the Peacemakers, this high-energy event will combine incredible live music, delicious eats, and good vibes in one of the Valley's most scenic outdoor venues. Tickets are on sale now. Thank you.
Thank you all. I have just one thing. We won't meet again as a council until October, so we have somebody has a birthday coming up, Councilmember Torgerson. We want to give you a card. You're 25, how many times over?
2.4.
2.4. You never did tell us whether you fought for the North or the South. Congratulations. With that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
We are adjourned. Thank you.